Many of you either have been, are, or will be trustees of charities, generally small local charities. So I thought it'd be good to spend a couple of minutes talking about trustees of charities in general. The legislation is largely set out in the 2005 Act, but your best source of guidance is OSCR. They have an excellent website with plenty of useful information. But first read your governing document, which will have specific roles and duties and responsibilities for you and your particular charity. So who are the charity trustees? They're basically the ones in charge by whatever name called: directors, trustees, committee members, or whatever. As a trustee, you're responsible for compliance and safeguarding the charity's assets, and because you're looking after someone else's assets, you are held accountable for your trusteeship. According to OSCR, there are 4 general and 5 specific duties of trustees. First, the trustee must do what is best for the charity, not for themselves or anyone else, and must put the needs of the charity before any other organisation. They must then ensure compliance not only with the charity's constitution but with the law, and also make sure that the charity's affairs are run professionally. Let's look at some guidance on the first general principle. OSCR has set out some examples of good practice, and in this area policies and procedures are very important. So all trustees should be aware that they need to declare conflicts of interest, but you should also maintain a register which might detail things like places of work. The 5 specific duties include keeping OSCR's register up to date, reporting to OSCR, such as submitting annual accounts, financial record keeping, fundraising, and providing information to the public so that there is no confusion on your legal status. Looking at the third of these, financial record keeping and reporting, the trustees are responsible for ensuring that the books are kept correctly, accounts are prepared annually and submitted to OSCR in the appropriate timescale. Given that few trustees have an accounting background, this can be quite a challenging responsibility. The 5th specific duty listed by OSCR relates to the publicising of your charitable status, and if you're also a company, then you'll also have to comply with the regulations from Companies House. The responsibilities of trustees are quite onerous, and we are frequently asked whether they can actually be paid for what they do. In general, the answer is yes, but there are certain conditions attached. In this context, trustee remuneration can take many forms, whether direct or indirect, and it can be for acting as a charity trustee, it can be under a contract of employment, or for any other services which are provided on behalf of the charity. The conditions under which remuneration can be paid are largely laid down under the Act and revolve around transparency and approval by the other trustees. But the condition which catches most people out is the fact that most trust documents forbid the payment of trustees just for being a trustee. One last point that I would like to highlight is the responsibility of charity trustees to ensure compliance with the Equality Act. And it may be that you need to review your trust document or your memorandum and article of association to ensure compliance. Most of this guidance has come from the OSCR website, and I would in particular point you to their easy read guidance for charity trustees. So just Google that name. This is a mammoth subject, but I hope you found this brief review interesting. I'm Alan Long from the Long Partnership, making life less taxing.